Welcome to New Comic Book Day Wednesday. I'm ComicManAndy, and you're in the ComicManAndy Comic Cave and Comic Dojo. Happy New Comic Book Day, everybody. If you are as excited about New Comic Book Day as I am, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button, buckle up, hit one of those reaction buttons down there, and kick that notification bell so you know when we're dropping content every week. Welcome, everybody. It's been a fantastic week so far. Wednesday is not going to let any of us down. There's some great reads, kind of a nice, relaxing, easy-going Wednesday. But wait, they definitely dropped a surprise on us, so we're looking forward to checking into that. Hope everybody here is having a great day. We'll get into this chat. We're going to get into this chat as people start filtering in, seeing what's going on. Yes, happy New Comic Book Day, everybody. But hey, we'll start going through the books now. We'll do it like we usually do. We'll run through the books. We'll hit up the chat, hang out with everybody. We'll do a recap of the books. We'll hang out with the chat again, and we'll go over some announcements. So be sure to stay tuned and buckle up. This week, no DC books. Don Davis definitely be a little disappointed in me. I know there was Nightwing was out. He's going to tell me I probably should have picked that up, and I would agree with him. I probably should have picked it up, but I did not. Either way, first up with Marvel, we've got Devil's Reign Superior 4 is out. This is hitting the reading pile. I got to get back into this Daredevil, Devil's Reign, and find out exactly what's going on. This one has kind of hit the low end of the priority list as far as reading, but nonetheless, it's still there, still available to read. Looking forward to it because, yeah, it's been good stuff from what I hear. Next up on the list today, happy New Comic Book Day. Come on, Mama. Thanks for being here. Good to see you as well. It's Wednesday, and Wednesday is going to Wednesday real hard. But next up is Thor 22. I immediately dove right into this issue, and for some reason, it didn't quite pick up as well as it left. Like from 21 to 22, I'm like, what happened? I got to go back and reread 21. 22 is here and available. I've thumbed through it. I've kind of already seen the spoilers. I kind of have an idea what's going on. Zuni with a little fist bump action for Wednesday. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. So, because I kind of already know what's going on, I just got to finish actually reading the book. Like, I got 2 pages in, and I'm like, wait a second. Let me go back and reread 21, because somehow it just wasn't meshing together very well for me. But Thor 22 is there, ready to go when we are later tonight. Because once we're done with the show, we're going to dive back into the books. We're going to get some good rest tonight, hit the ground running tomorrow. Lots going on this week. Mojo Quid, what is up? Hola, my people. It's good to see you, man. So next up on Marvel is a title that I did not pre-order. A title that I wouldn't normally pick up, but Iron Fist, based on all the talk that's been going on, I want to check it out, find out what's going on in Iron Fist. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I mean, there's been a lot of talk in the community. We've already seen the previews. We already seen some interior work. So without spoiling it, if you want to know what's going on, pick up the issue. It's not a bad issue. What else can I say besides pick up the issue? At least grab one, right? Pay attention to what's going on with this one. So Iron Fist 1, but then the real kicker for Iron Fist 1 this week were the variants. So Iron Fist 1, I don't know how many got ordered, but I frequent a fairly decent sized LCS that orders a lot of books every week. They did not order very much of Iron Fist. Either it wasn't on people's radars or it wasn't on their pull list, but they only had one copy of the 1 in 50. The killer homage cover, done very well. The 1 in 50 here. And this artist's name was Gunji. I'm butchering the pronunciation. But this Gunji variant in, how do they call it? After Romita Romita. I can't read the rest of the signature. But this is a really, really good ASM homage. I really like this. Already selling for double cover or double ratio on eBay today. I'm going to keep an eye on the ones that are actually being auctioned off that have 4, 5, 6 days left to see what happens. But if this book hits triple ratio, if you think about what JP Budget Collects goes by, his little rule of thumb when it comes to ratio variants, check out his channel, subscribe to him, watch his show every week. And I've been learning quite a bit more about ratio variants and kind of the way he follows that. If we see this go to triple ratio or better, I mean, we could see some staying power. I don't know how many of these are really out there as far as the print run. Because as big as the LCS is that I go to, I'm shocked that they only ordered like 50. They only got one of these, and it was still there at the end of the day. I mean, it's a killer homage. It looks really good. And it's Iron Fist 1 with a new Iron Fist. So I had to grab that. And for the asking price that they had on the shelf, yeah, I wasn't going to leave that, but basically got the book for ratio, and it's already selling for double ratio on eBay. So I was going to leave that one behind. But yes, moving on from that's it for Marvel. This is, like I said, going to be a light new comic book day week while people filter in and while we hang out here. But we're moving on to Image, and I will say it again, and like I say it every week, all day, all the time. The Walking Dead Deluxe 33 is out, and Dale Suspense, what is up, man? Thanks for being here. If you guys don't know Dale Suspense, you got to make sure you follow him on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, check out his content as well. Good stuff over there, Dale. Thanks for being here. But Walking Dead Deluxe issue 33 is out. This is probably in my top 5 issues of the entire Walking Dead series. This is, spoilers for a book that's been out as long as it has, a series that's been out as long as it has. This is the issue Michonne gets revenge with the governor. And this cover ain't slouching when it comes to that. This is gory. This is nitty. This is gritty. It's kind of, I mean, how do you really put it into words without getting too pro, you don't want to get into too much profanity live on the air, but she does everything underneath this. I mean, there's a lot of torture going on in here. Loss of limbs, loss of parts, body parts. This was disgusting and gruesome. This is one of those, this was that story arc that I talk about of The Walking Dead that I absolutely was just, my mind was blown that they went there and they got as dark as they did. And Michonne, after being tortured and treated the way she was for so long by the governor, gets her revenge. I mean, literally, there is a... Have you guys not read this? I mean, a feces-covered spoon gets used to dig out an eyeball. That's how disgusting they get, and that's how crazy they get with Walking Dead. And, I mean... just knock your socks off. There's Come On Mama dropping the link. Go ahead and subscribe over there and support him, please. And thank you very much. Thank you, Come On Mama. So we're still on Image, but I can't say enough good things about Walking Dead, and being able to reread Walking Dead Deluxe on a bi-weekly basis in full color is phenomenal issue to issue. I'm absolutely loving the reliving of that series from quite a while ago, and not being able to miss a beat because it's on my pull list. You know what I mean? I don't have to go hunting for any of the issues. They're right there every time they come out. Next up is Primordial issue number 6, and this is the finale for Primordial. And all I have to say is this ended up being way weirder and out there than I thought it was going to be. This was a bit tougher to follow, and this... Lemire and Sorrento delivered an amazing story within Gideon Falls, an amazing Gideon Falls universe. So I picked this up because it's the same creative team, but they definitely pushed the boundaries. They definitely went out there and they definitely stretched things out. And it's like, this is going to need several rereads. And this is the season finale. This is the series finale. And now that's basically one more book that drops off the pull list for now. And that's fine. I'm glad to have experienced it. If I could go back from the start, I probably wouldn't have added that to my pull list. Once I got 2 issues in, I felt invested, like I wanted to stay for the rest of it. And by the end of it, I'm just lost and confused and shocked. I mean, that's just was a very, very weird issue. But moving right along, speaking of being lost in time, Time Before Time issue 10 is out. I think, if I remember correctly, this was going to be a 12-issue miniseries. I think it was supposed to be 6. Then they moved it to 12. This is one that hits the reading pile. I've just not been able to keep up with this one. It's been lower on the priority list. I love Declan Shelvey, but the challenge with the way the time hopping and time traveling has been with this has been a little bit harder to follow. I mean, obviously, it's very easy to tell when they are in a different time. It's very bold, and there's the numbers out there to tell you what year it is. But I can't remember which year is which as far as the importance of the story, or if they're important at all. So this is going to take some actual going back and rereading and figuring things out. And I think that's actually going to be read better in a trade paperback format, and see what goes that way. That'll be interesting. But moving from Image on to IDW tonight, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is back with issue 126, and I have not dipped into read this. I've not read Turtles in a very long time because I promised to keep this going and keep it on the reading pile for when C. Woodard 19 and I get back together for Turtle Tuesdays and we're able to dive back into this Turtles run, this Turtle series. I feel like this is either last issue was a cameo and this is the first appearance of these punk frogs, or last issue was the first appearance and this is the second appearance. Either way, these punk frogs are man, they're just right up there with the right near there with the Battletoads nostalgia. And I'm like, oh, and several people, I think yesterday on Comics News Weekly, were talking about how cool it would have been if they could have been able to do Battletoads. But there it is. Once again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hits the reading pile. And we've actually done pretty well this week to keep too much from hitting the reading pile, and actually got a bunch of most of the books read. Because next up on IDW's list is Canto 3, Lionhearted number 6. This is the finale for this Lionhearted story arc, and they close it out very well. And we get a nice little tidbit at the end, letting us know that Canto is going to be back for summer of 2022. So looking forward to that and seeing where this series goes on that next arc, because I feel like this next arc could be the last big arc for Canto as we know him right now. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with this. But it was a great read this week, and one of my favorite variant covers of the week, the 1 in 10. I'm not going to try to pronounce this. Not Danny. It's Stihel. This 1 in 10 is absolutely phenomenal. My mind immediately goes to like Clockwork Orange, but it's missing some elements that mean it's not a Clockwork Orange homage. But it just kind of, that's where my brain went when I first saw this. But this looks really, really good. I'm really digging this 1 in 10. So we made sure to pick that one up. Didn't miss out on that. Like I said, Canto books. All of the Canto books are all copies, all printings. Everything's getting pulled for us because they're not doing a gazillion variants. You know, it's a very manageable amount of variants for a very manageable price there. Have Mr. Gunn do it with you. He's into frogs. It's not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. David Boer has a Whatnot auction tonight, and Zucker has one on Friday. Yes, Zucker is Drew. Yeah, David M. Boer and Drew Zucker, but Zucker's going Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. David M. Boer, what time is he going tonight? Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, Dale of Suspense. I appreciate it, man. You guys know that as you hit the thumbs up and as you continue to be here and watching and boosting the analytics, this is in support of Mission 22. Our mission for the year of 2022 is to support Mission 22. So all channel all channel monetization is going to be donated to Mission 22 for the year of 2022, which includes all super stickers and super chats as well. So thank you, Dale of Suspense, for bringing that up. But next up, we're moving from IDW to Boom Studios. Boom Studios House of Slaughter 3, the second print. We're continuing to go on to prints. Did anybody ask for additional prints of House of Slaughter? I don't think anybody's sold out of the first prints. So we're reprinting a series that a lot of people are starting to sleep on for issues that haven't sold out. So we're just creating more of the same thing. I know what's going on here, but I don't want to miss out. Not saying House of Slaughter is as hot as Something Is Killing the Children, but it's Tinian still. It's been a good read. And I don't want to miss out on some of these covers, especially when you start getting into the extremely low printed stuff, which we're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet. Everything's super, super blown up as far as the print numbers for House of Slaughter. I mean, literally, House of Slaughter was printed almost as much as Berserker. And Berserker was one of the highest printed titles of the year last year. So there it is. It still gets there on the pull list, and it gets placed here in the Comic Dojo. But wait, there's more. Apparently they did a ratio variant of it too. And I'm wondering why I'm letting myself pick up ratio variants of additional printings, because you guys remember, I think it was a Mortal Hulk issue in 2019 or 2020, where it was like a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50 ratio variant that got hot after the fact. And then Marvel decided to turn right back around and do a second printing of it, tanking the secondary value of the first print. A lot of people got upset. This isn't the case for this, but who's asking for ratio variants of additional prints? I ask you. I'm like, I don't think anybody is. But for the price, I wanted it for the collection. It kind of, I'm kind of one of those completionists. I am a completionist collector. What am I saying? And series like Something is Killing the Children with the spinoffs of House of Slaughter, they're just grabbing all of them to have a completed series and then sending them all out for grading at one point or another. That might hit the grading queue one of these days. Christian, what is up, man? Thank you for the $2 super sticker in support of Mission 22. He says, not you. Yes, no. We are dedicated to donating all of the monetization, all of the super chats and super stickers to Mission 22 for the year of 2022. And last up for new comic book day books. But wait, there's more. We've got some back issues coming up here too in just a minute. But the last book for Boom Studios was a surprise because we are still a month away from the return of Something is Killing the Children with issue number 21. They dropped an ash can. They're calling it an ash can. This was a secret drop that I don't think anybody knew about until retailers looked at their order forms or their invoices when they were getting their books. And this was on there. And I don't know what retailers had to do to qualify. Essentially, it kind of becomes like a one per store variant. So why are we calling it an ash can? It's definitely way bigger than an ash can. It's normal comic book size. It is a preview of 21 is what I'm hearing. I didn't open it up. I'm not going to open it up. This is probably going to go straight in for grading for as limited as this is. I think we've got one little kink we got to get humidity on and get this pressed out. But the corners are extremely sharp. I mean, worst case scenario, it comes back 9.6. Best case scenario, it comes back a 9.8, and it should after a press and clean, I would imagine. It doesn't even need to be cleaned, really. But all black front, all black back. Anything 9.4 better, I'd be happy with, but we're hoping for a 9.8, obviously. But yeah, there's one little non-color breaking crease that I found in here. And it's not like I could say, no, send it in for a trade out, send it in for it's damaged, send it back and try to get another one. That's not going to happen. We're not going to send this back. They're not going to get any replacements for this at all. So take it or leave it. You either get one or you don't. I know a lot of people are looking for this. Secondary market on this on eBay. The prices are already over. I think we're seeing pretty consistent sales of 90 to 110 throughout eBay today. And it's sold quite a bit. I mean, not just a couple of copies here. If you look at the sold listings for this on eBay for the 16th, there's a lot of them. I wish I would have counted how many of them, but there's probably only one little kink mark. Yes, that's me. I'm just a little kinky about that. But for the secondary market, and you think about it as like a one per store, based on what people are paying, it's not double. It's not double what people are paying when they're at the LCS, right? If they're paying 40, 50. Some people I heard are getting like $20. I heard other people are paying up to 80. So depending on where you're going for your LCS, the prices seem to vary quite a bit. But on the secondary market, they seem to be pretty solid around $100 for sales. We'll check back on this in a week or two to see if it actually holds up and stays there. But this could be the book to have for issue 21 as far as collectability and the limited print run. I mean, we're talking one per store, less than 3,000, less than 3,500, less than 2,000. I don't know how many LCSs are out there. Don Davis, I think, might know. House of L Comics, thanks for being here, man. But if they're only doing one per store, how many LCSs are left in the country still that are open or that are receiving this copy? So that's it for New Comic Book Day. But wait, there's more before we get back into the books and before we get into the chat here. Mark the Cuddy Sark, what is up, man? Thanks for being here. We will we'll get with the chat here, but we got some back issues. We got some great back issue finds. And I'm kind of surprised to see these still sitting there. Lots of news have been, or lots of news. There's been, news drops about the Grand Inquisitor, about Star Wars, about some other information like that. So a lot of people in sweeping. Oh man, it's almost like it's Monday. House of L Comics is 5,500. So 5,500 issues out of those that survive damages and whatnot. That seems to be pretty limited. You know what I mean? And we'll see what happens with that. Most variants don't hold value, though. We'll be honest right there. This is a issue 21 for Something's Killing the Children is a new story arc. Not that necessarily means it's going to be a key, but it's a new story arc. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to open it. I'm going to wait to see if anybody posts the preview on social media and then read the book next month when it comes out. I don't want to open it. All black cover. Don't want to get any fingerprints on it. Don't want to cause any more damage to it. Just want to send it off for pressing it and then getting it graded. But we got some good back issue finds. And this past weekend at Northwest Indiana Comic Con, I actually stumbled on some really good grips of Star Wars books for $1 or $2 a cover. And I was just over the moon that I was able to add those almost complete chunks, like the first 25 or 30 books from the Gillen run of Darth Vader and the Soul run of Darth Vader, and I'm starting to realize that people are really sleeping on the Soul run of Darth Vader. That 2017 Charles Soule run of Darth Vader is littered with keys of first appearances here and there. Everybody's focusing on issue 6, which is great, right? But still, don't leave those other issues behind. And today, back issue finding, we found some more stuff though. Issue 2 for Darth Vader from that Soul run right there. And be on the lookout for this. If you're digging through this and you come across the Soul run of Darth Vader, there is a pretty limited, hard to find second print of this issue that has like a, instead of having what looks like a window here behind Vader, it's just space. That second print can be easy to miss if you're flipping through too quickly. If you see anything that says Darth Vader on it, take a pause and look. Don't pass that stuff up. And if it's a dollar bin, just start buying. I mean, that's me. Give them to me. I'll buy them from you. Seriously. But then issue 3 is, if I remember correctly, a first full appearance. And that's just sitting there still. I'm surprised. And if I remember correctly, I looked through this little chunk of books at my LCS several months ago and didn't pick up the books. And I should have. But now I have. And here we are. So issue 3 is there. And lo and behold, sitting behind all the other ones, yes, ta-da, there it is, issue 6, first appearance of the Grand Inquisitor right there. This is the one that I had been missing, and it's now fulfilled, and it fills that rest of that run we picked up this past weekend, which is fantastic. We'll see what we're going to do with this. I don't know. But then again, right behind that as well was issue 7, and this is the first cover appearance of 3 of the Inquisitors, if I remember correctly. So I'm not going to leave that behind either. So that's a nice little 4 back issue find for Darth Vader, that Soul run from 2017. Super excited because now I'm at the point where I'm not going to read the highlights. I'm going to be actually able to sit down and read the entire series. Planet Arizona Comics, what is up? Catching you on the drive home from work. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Halfway through the show already. We went through the books once. We're going to hit up this chat now. Once again, say hi to everybody. Come on, Mama's in the house. Thank you for posting that IG footage, the IG picture with the books that you picked up from the last Whatnot sale. Glad they made it to you safe and sound. I hope that packing method is still working out extremely well and the books are pristine when they get to you guys. That is the goal. I'm working on finding a way to just make a sticker that has step-by-step instructions on how to open the package safely, because for people that aren't familiar with the packages or aren't familiar with buying comics online, don't want them to inadvertently damage a book. So thinking about making a thermal label or a sticker that has those instructions on there so I can just slap it right on the very inside of the package so that people are fully aware of that. But yeah, you guys let me know if you're still digging the packaging, if there's something I can tweak or I can make it a little bit better. Your guys' feedback is only going to make those packages better. Absolutely. You heard me say it. Your feedback's going to make those packages better. Zuni with a little fist bump action for a Wednesday. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, man. Mojo Quid says, hola, my people. It's good to see you as well. Mojo Quid, long-time follower on Whatnot, and good to see you here over on the YouTube side of things. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Let me know, because this Friday on Whatnot is going to be a ton of fun. But yes, hey, come on. Or Dale of Suspense in the chat again. Thanks for being here. There's Come On Mama again. Yeah. And Come On Mama dropping links for Dale of Suspense. And the second one is JP's. This is JP Budget Collecting's link. Make sure you check out JP as well. And who else is here hanging out? A little bit of bot action going on apparently tonight. They've been furious. They've been furious on the YouTubes lately. Last night was, if you watch or rewatch Simpleman's Comics News Weekly show, you'll see that there was several bot spamming attacks during the live show that we're trying to kibosh at the same time while producing the show. I've never seen a bot spam that hard. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yep. Mr. Gunn will have to do it with us. He's into the frogs. More importantly, he's into the turtles, and he's been reading that series, so he might be interested in doing that. David M. Boer has a Whatnot auction tonight. I got to look into it. I don't know if it was 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 10, but we're going to look into that. Wednesday nights are on fire over on Whatnot. There's a gazillion awesome sellers going on right now, and you guys know that Comic Time and their crew have a full 8-hour run of auctions, and there's a ton of other great sellers going on there too. But yes, please hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. You guys know that helps out the algorithm. 7:30 Central. Come On Mama says, so he's about to start in about 5 to 10 minutes, so we're going to hop over there and watch him after this show is done. Yes, hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Christian with the $2 super sticker going to Mission 22. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. And he says, you better or else. Love to see Annie's package. Holy moly, you want to talk about that? Here we go. Mark the Cuddy Sark in the house tonight. Good to see, man. Thank you for being here. I got to tear open Annie's package today. Absolutely. Only one little kink. We're talking about something is killing the children, that ash can. I don't know why they call it an ash can. Maybe it's because an ash can is basically a preview, and a preview is basically an ash can, but it's definitely a full-size comic book in stature and in size. I don't know how much of the story is in there. They're calling it a preview, but either way, House of L Comics says 5,500 LCSs in the country. So you're potentially looking at 5,500-ish issues of that preview or that ash can. What's up, Planet Arizona? Absolutely catching on the drive home from work. I just want to get an iPad mounted in my truck now, too, so that I can do the same thing and just leave podcasts and shows running while I'm driving. That would be a blast. They were perfect. Been very happy with it. That is awesome. Thank you so much for the feedback. Those packages will continue to go out. We'll continue to build that follower base and show everybody what it's like to pack books. Speaking of that, I'm working on some content here down in the dojo revolved around packing comic books. So that's going to be a nice little surprise coming up. We'll get that recorded hopefully in the next couple of weeks, get it edited and get it up. And that should be a lot of fun. Speaking of comics and comic book art, Steve Messenger is here. What is up? If you guys don't know Steve Messenger, please follow him on Instagram. In fact, real quick, before we get too much further, we're going to throw up Steve's Instagram handle here. And we're going to see how many more followers we can send his way tonight, because Steve Messenger does some fantastic art. And we got an amazing commission done by him in Baltimore that still is one of my favorites. That Boba Fett sitting on a throne was absolutely fantastic. So here it is. There is the link in the chat right now for Steve Messenger's art on Instagram. Hit him up. Hit that follow button. It's only a matter of time before you're going to see him at another convention. He has probably one of the best displays, in my opinion. Massive booth that just catches your eye. Very cool stuff. Speaking of artist profiles, be sure to hit up tonight, not just tonight, but any other night. This past Monday, we did Modern Comic Mondays, and we did a we did a artist profile on a new artist that we have discovered. Not just really discovered. We don't discover artists, but you know what I'm saying is we've come to, let me get this link before my brain freezes up here. Here you go. Here's the link for Modern Comic Mondays, where we talked about Northwest Indiana Comic Con this past weekend. And at that Northwest Indiana Comic Con, we found some amazing art by Beth, the chalk girl. She does chalk paintings, and watch that Modern Comic Mondays replay. You'll see her art. We discovered that amazing Ahsoka Tano quilt. Beth and Steve are both fantastic artists that deserve many, 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 many more followers on Instagram. So share that information out. Get to know them. Get to know their art. Look for them at the convention scene this year coming up. Very cool stuff. Very awesome. That's the chat. We're gonna replay the replay. We're gonna review the book. Review the books. We're gonna go over the books one more time here in just a second. It's cold. It's dry here in Michigan. The more I talk, the more dry air I bring in, the more my sinuses get dried out. So we're going to stay hydrated. We're going to get lots of rest tonight, tell you what. But yes, so like we said, going from back to the beginning, back to the start, that ash can variant, that secret variant that dropped today for Something is Killing the Children, this is going to be tough. All black. I mean, super all black cover. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's that satin black cover. Gorgeous. I just get the feeling that there's not going to be, I get the feeling that we're going to see a lot of 9.4s and a lot of 9.6s. You know what I mean? We're going to be probably split right down the middle. You're not going to see 5,500 copies in 9.8. I don't think so. No DC Comics again, House of L Comics. I should have grabbed Nightwing. I didn't. I got blindsided and sidetracked because my LCS has some graded copies of Saga available that I'm working to pick up from them. So there was there's a fairly long discussion going over some big Saga books that are going to need to happen, and working on that. And by the time I got back to the DC wall, I already had my arms full, and I'm like, I'm over budget right now as it is. But Nightwing is there. I should have grabbed Nightwing. I know, Don, I should have grabbed it. But that House of Slaughter 3 is out with a second print variant. And like I said, did anybody here ask for a second print variant? I didn't. And I don't know if any of you guys did. But they didn't sell out of the first print. So they're just making more to get people like me who are completionist collectors to buy the extra covers. And it's working, and it shouldn't, but it is. And the print run isn't going to be low. So they're throwing out a ratio variant, and this is, it's a 1 in 10 ratio. It's just a 1 in 10 ratio. This is it's gonna have to be one of those sign and remark situations. Maybe actually get some cover work done on this by one of the artists. But then next up is Canto, that 1 in 10. This is probably one of my favorite covers of the week. Absolutely gorgeous, clean looking cover. I love it. And then the read itself was great. Kind of leaves us with a little bit of closure, but also getting ready to jump off on that next story arc. And I have the feeling that Canto, as we know him, this next story arc coming up this spring, as they say at the end of the story, spring of 2022, could be the last of the Canto that we know, as we know him, actually. So great read. If you've been a fan of Canto, like Lala Schultze and I have been, you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that. And then Time Before Time, issue 10 is out. 2 more issues on this. I'm actually eager to see how this ends and kind of be done with this and move on. Like I said, the way they're doing the time traveling has been hard for me to keep up with. Or at least not the fact that we're keeping up with what time we're in, but what is the significance of that time that they're in and why does it play a role? It's where I'm lost. That's where I'm kind of lost there, unless it's just an arbitrary time traveling kind of like they're there, now they're here, then they're there again, now they're here. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 126 is out as well this week. And I got to look into this. I don't know if this issue is a first appearance of these punk frogs or if it's a cameo or if maybe it's their first cover appearance. And last issue was their first full appearance in the book. Either way, TMNT is hitting the reading pile and it will be for quite some time until Seawater 19 and I can get back together and get deep into this Turtle Tuesday read again through that whole series. But then now we're into Image. Walking Dead Deluxe. I'll say it again, and like I say it every other week, I am absolutely over the moon being able to reread this issue to issue as it comes out with this series now in full color. And this is one of the top 5 issues in this entire series, in my opinion. The issue where Michonne gets her revenge with the governor. It is graphic. It is gory. It's disgusting. It's gut-wrenchingly horrible. But after what Michonne went through, can you blame her? Damn good issue. Damn good issue. Like we've said in the past, or like Kirkman and them said, The Walking Dead isn't a story about zombies, essentially. It's more of a story about the human beings and them losing their humanity and becoming something other than humans. Pretty crazy. Primordial issue 6 is out. The finale of this series, and all I've got to say is this is way weirder than I thought it was going to be. And they really went out there, and I'm going to have to reread this, but I'm actually not let down, but I'm a little surprised that Lemire and Sorrento went so far out there, it just became weird and really hard to follow. But that's one book that falls off of the pull list for now, and I'm happy with that. That's fine. Interested to see what else they come up with further down the line, but happy to also be done with that. Thor issue 22 is out, and I dove into this to try to read it. I tried to read it and see what was going on. But my brain just didn't want to connect with what I remember from issue 21 to 22. So then I became kind of lost in the issue. Like, you know what? I'll flip through this, look at the highlights, and then get back to reading this later. So it's going to be a good issue. And then second to last, we got Iron Fist 1 is out with the new Iron Fist. And not something that I had ordered, and I didn't have this on my pull list. But when I got there, and I saw there was only like 6 issues left, I grabbed one. I grabbed 2, actually. I grabbed 2 and I'm like, you know what? This just seems like it might be a good book to hold on to see what happens and see what goes down. And shockingly enough, the 1 in 50 was still there and they only got 1. And it's a fantastic ASM homage, great looking cover. And it's a 1 in 50. And looking on the secondary market, it's actually selling for, this was, if I remember correctly, this was selling for more than double, at double ratio, basically. And if it hits that triple ratio mark, then we might have a variant that has some staying power. If my LCS only ordered 50 copies of Iron Fist, how many were actually printed? How many of the 1 in 50s are actually going to be out there? rhetorical question for the moment, saying it's an issue. This is a cover to keep an eye on. Don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, when I pick it up for ratio basically, and it's selling for double ratio on eBay, I'm going to hold on to this. This one's probably going to go right to CGC in one of the next batches. That'll be pretty good. And then Superior, Devil's Reign Superior 4 hits the rating pile as well. This is issue 2. And I love the greens on this cover. But that's New Comic Book Day. And before we get too far away, we've got the back issue finds that we talked about early, which I was surprised were still there. And now that I'm going over this, we actually saw these issues several months ago, and they were still on the shelves. And I am shocked. I'm shocked. People are still overlooking a lot of the covers and a lot of the issues from the Charles Soule run. And because of that, we found an issue 6, Darth Vader, hidden in this little stack. So you got Darth Vader, number 2 from that Soule run. Fantastic cover. Like we said, as you're flipping through Darth Vader covers or Star Wars books, and you stumble on that Soule run and you see an issue 2, stop, take a pause for a moment. There's a very limited, hard to find second print of this issue where instead of being a window, it's just the background is just space behind Vader. So I have never seen it in the wild personally, but it's one to look out for if you're digging through books and you stumble on it, grab it. You know, I mean, I don't know how much value it really has, but if you see it in the dollar bin, don't leave it behind is what I'm saying. Don't leave it behind in a dollar bin is exactly what I'm saying. And then right behind that was issue 3, and this is the first full appearance of, if I remember, it's a Jedi that is just strictly about combat. I can't remember the name. I butcher Star Wars names all the time. But this, I think issue 2 was the cameo, and I think issue 3 was the first full appearance. He's just still sitting there. I couldn't believe it after the news, especially when you dive into the fact that issue 6 was still sitting there as well. First full appearance of the Grand Inquisitor. Sales have been hot on this book based on information of somebody being cast for the role in, I think they said it was a Disney Plus series about the Inquisitors or something to do with the Obi-Wan series coming out. I can't quite remember. I'm not quite up to date on the actual news side of things. It's no longer speculation anymore. These are actual information being reported that somebody's cast for this role. So unless the informational sources are wrong, then I'm wrong for citing those. That would be crappy. But the book got hot. And for this book to be just sitting there, I'm kind of shocked. But there we go. We've grabbed that one. Right behind that was issue 7 as well. And this is the first cover appearance of 3 of those Inquisitors, if I remember correctly. And I forget their names, but they're right there on the cover. First cover appearance there. So that's 3 great back issue grabs that I'm surprised to see. So let me hit up this chat again real quick before we go over some announcements, and then we'll close out the show early after that. Steve Messenger says, thanks, Mama. Everybody be sure to click those links above. Follow Steve Messenger on IG to check out his art. And we're also going to drop Beth's The Chalk Girl. We're going to drop her link in here as well so everybody can follow her, because you do not want to miss out on the work and the art that she's doing 4 foot by 6 foot giant canvas pieces that have some of the most amazing artwork on them. Here's her link right now. Everybody that's in the chat that has the opportunity to follow her on IG, please do, even if it's just for a couple of moments. Check out her work. You won't be disappointed. Hit that follow button over there. She's got some fantastic videos on there. Support her actual social media. Support her Etsy shop. She has an Etsy shop where you can get all of her prints for her prints can be had for $8. Stellar pricing. And you can get metal versions. You can get big, 11 by 17 metal versions of her prints. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Don't be afraid to check out her Instagram. That's where you guys can find her right there and support her. You got to check out that art. It's really cool looking stuff. Speaking of our Alex Arts in the house, what is up? Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Harm's Way Chad is in the house. What is up, brother, man? Absolutely good to see you. Love the homage cover. I do. That's why I couldn't believe it got left behind today. I mean, I usually go to my LCS about between 4 and 6 p.m. So all the Wednesday Warriors have been through there, and not a single one of them grabbed that homage cover for variant or for ratio price. And it's selling for double ratio on eBay all day today. I'm not saying it's going to stay there, but if that issue hits triple ratio, we could see some staying power. I think if I remember correctly, that's JP Budget Collecting's kind of input when it comes to ratio variants. If they start seeing triple ratio or better, then they start to see some staying power over time. But yes, absolutely look at that and check out the Chalk Girls link there in the chat for IG. Sweep the leg, Andy, man. Oliver, what is up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Good to see you, brother. I will check that out. Thank you, Harm's Way Chad. And if you guys know anybody else that's interested in some fantastic art, be sure to share that out to your other friends. Dang, that trip ratio. We hope it gets to triple ratio. We don't know that it will. Not all ratios, not many ratios actually do well in the long run, but that ASM homage with a new Iron Fist. It's worth a shot, right? If you can get, I got it for ratio. I'm comfortable paying ratio and under for ratio variants, because if they do kind of lose out at the end of the day, it's not terrible. Unless you're buying a 1 in 1,000. Good gravy. We got to think long and hard about that one. But that's New Comic Book Day. Those are some great back issue finds. We've shared some links for some artists that we're getting familiar with that you guys should get familiar with as well. And let's go over some announcements. It is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. So we are going to prep and get ready for the Whatnot sale Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, down here in the Comic Dojo on the Whatnot app. Make sure you're following on Whatnot and come hang out and watch and just have a good time if you're not looking to buy books right now. Because just being there, I get so much great energy from all of you guys just being there and hanging out. It is a blast. I'm looking forward to that. So be there, be square, or something like that. It's going to be fun. And then Sudden Death Saturdays is back this Saturday. I'm hoping to load up a bunch of X-Men books and Spider-Man books to make room. If I could move 2 short boxes worth of books on Saturday very quickly, I'd be super happy. I don't know that I could pack and ship that many, but that would be nice to make that much extra room, because we already brought back another short box of books from this past weekend for the PC, for the Star Wars PC. And oh my, I'm running out of room. And that being said, Sudden Death Saturdays is a thing, but Sunday is going to be a day where we run to another convention on Sunday, and we're going to be looking for some more Star Wars valuable keys and hopefully find some really good deals, because next week, a week from this Friday, is going to be a Star Wars event on Whatnot, and we're going to be a part of that, and it's going to be a ton of fun. What do I got to do to get you to do the Chad 1000 with me? What is the Chad 1000? You tell me what the Chad 1000 is. Let me know what's up with that. But what other announcements do we have? Yes, like we said, check out new Modern Comic Mondays for that profile for the Chalk Girl art. For Beth from the Chalk Girl. Her art has been fantastic. Check out that profile there. And we talked about Northwest Indiana Comic-Con there, and it was a blast with Skeff, and Chip Getler was there as well, hanging out with us. So be sure to check that out. Like we said, we talked about some more content coming up about packing and shipping comic books. That's going to be a thing. I know there's some videos out there, but we want to throw our spin on it and see what people think of that and what kind of feedback we can get there. What else we got? Some more Whatnot sales, like we had talked about. And we're going to be cutting some micro content as well. Hopefully dropping on Thursdays and Fridays will be micro content from some of the other shows that we've been on that have been a blast. A workout for veteran suicide awareness. The Chad 1000. Boy, that sounds like a killer workout. Really does. It just sounds like it's going to be a really tough one. Let me know, man. Hit me up on the IG DMs. And yeah, we'll see what that's all about. But it's going to be a hell of a good week. Next week's going to be even better. So like we said, next Monday, Modern Comic Mondays will be back. And that might be a little mini con haul again. We'll see what's up with that. But thank you, everybody, for being here and hanging out. It's been New Comic Book Day Wednesday. This is Comic Man Andy down in the Comic Man Andy Comic Cave and Comic Dojo. Thank you for all the great energy. It's been a blast. Like we said, a nice little easy, manageable New Comic Book Day. We'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. This connective tissue that is comic books is fantastic, right? But the most fantastic thing are each and every one of you every week that come back to talk comic books, share other people's channels, and what comic books did we miss? What ones should we not be leaving behind? Because it helps to expand our reading horizons. And then hopefully you guys are gaining something from this as well, as far as information about what's happening with some ratio variants, what's happening with some books, and what we're reading and what we think you guys shouldn't miss out on. But you guys know how I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side for the next one. But remember, the most important part all day, every day, each and every day is be original and take care of each other. Peace out, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you on the next one.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me, but while I change, the roller boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty. I love gold.
Switch to targeting computer.
I love gold.
Stay on target.
I love gold.
Stay on target.
I love gold.